Hi, welcome. It's Judy and Sara here today. Sandy's taking a quick break. We're really happy to be here in this group because we were just talking before we went live about the importance of offering good information for us to sink our teeth into because it's a stressful
Mm.
world right now. And today's topic is about the this is your topic, Sara. It's the difference between confidence, in quotes, I would say, coming from the ego or
Mm.
egos, and true core confidence. And tell me, Sara, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think this is a great topic because in reflection, how many of us live and behave and act from the ego confident self? And the difference between the two is, for me personally, I would say core confidence comes from a strong foundation within you, a strong worthiness foundation within you, where you don't necessarily need external validation. So, you know, core confidence for me would be I am good enough just as I am. And I am enough for everybody and I don't need to earn love. Whereas ego confidence is it's temperamental. It's, it's what can I do to earn love? It's not
Yeah.
um and it's an important topic, I think, and lately I've been really looking at, okay, am I doing this from the ego perspective or am I doing this from core confidence? And it's something that we really need to really look at. We need to
Hmm.
start building a strong foundation of worthiness within us. Um, and yeah, I think the more we do this by being aware, firstly, and also realizing, what are you trying to whose approval do you need? Whose validation do you need?
Yeah.
What is it you're seeking outside of yourselves to make you feel good inside? And I think it's just the other way around. We need to really focus on, all the love and the self-worth within us, because it comes from within.
Yeah, you just reminded me to think one of the most valuable things I've learned is when something happens that kind of irks me or triggers me, or I don't automatically go into, because I've practiced it quite a bit,
Mm,
I don't automatically go into, oh, I'm super confident right now.
mm,
Sometimes just taking a moment
mm,
to just say to someone, huh, hmm, well, let me think about that for a moment.
mm,
And you take a break, you take a moment to collect your thoughts or to
mm,
collect your feelings, or if you feel angry, see if you can take a few breaths. And then I have been personally triggered by people's, "Rah,
yeah,
and being sensitive, as I know you are as well,
yeah,
that can, rock my boat still. But it's quite a short period of time, but if I give myself a moment just to pause, that's really quite valuable. The
yeah,
other thing I've learned is that, having studied spirituality for quite some time now, the idea was 30, 40 years ago that you if you wanted to be a spiritual person, you would, be in happiness and peace of mind and bliss all the time. And that just isn't unless you're out of your body, you can't do that
yeah,
very well. So, what I've learned is that rather than thinking of the ego as bad, you're causing me problems, ego, I now think of it as like a hurt part of me
yeah,
that is trying to survive, that's trying to get by, and rather than beat it with a stick, I'm gonna corral it and pick it up and hold it, or imagine I'm doing that, or energetically do that, take some time away from this conversation and go sit down, hold your dog, hug a friend, whatever you need to do
yeah,
to realize that we're all going through this growth.
Yeah.
especially right now, there's so much anger and sadness and just it's all coming up like a wound, which is what it is, a collective wound on our planet.
Mm.
So if you think of your ego as a hurt part of you, or even a hurt part of somebody else,
Yeah.
if they're freaking out, they haven't come to a place of healing that part of themselves. So that has helped me tremendously as well to
Mm.
feel that part, those parts, whether it's me or someone else, needs a big hug, and that part needs to be listened to and taken care of. And if it wasn't taken care of when you got hurt originally, now's the time. It's coming up because
True.
it needs to be heard and held and given that voice it didn't have years ago, perhaps, or last week,
Mm.
whenever. It doesn't really
Mm.
matter.
Yeah. It's so true, isn't it? And that's
Mhm.
an interesting perspective. And it's like if you see somebody who seeks kind of validation in materialistic things. We see people who have to be successful, or have to have the car, have to have the financial thing, or have to be seen as the person with all the friends, or have to be seen as the person who doesn't make mistakes, or have to be seen as the person who's always successful. It's really coming from a self-esteem deficit within you. You know,
Bingo. Mhm.
it really, really is. And I think if we are brave enough to really just step out of the ego self and into our, what do I call it, like the soul self, our
Yeah.
being, and really look at ourselves not from a judgmental perspective, but from a curiosity place and a loving place, and thinking, okay, what am I trying to gain here? What am I, as you say, what part of me is hurt here, and how am I trying to compensate for that pain right now? And it takes a lot of courage and bravery to be able to look at ourselves like that, and say, even if you're having maybe a conflict with somebody, to say, do you know what, I'm in my ego right now. I'm not coming from love right
That's great to be that aware.
now.
That
Isn't
helps other
it?
people.
Yeah, it does, and it enables, if you're that honest with yourself and that person, that creates a safe space where you both can come together, and it can,
Mm.
just make a deeper connection for the two. And I think that's what I'm trying to aim for. you know, and it's scary. I'm not going to lie. To say I'm in my ego a lot now. It's a scary place, but it's something which we all have, the ego part of ourselves. As you
Mhm.
say, it's a hurt part of ourselves. And as we said before we came on live, Judy, we are just all trying to figure things out. We've all got patterns, negative belief systems, behaviors, all things that are not serving us. But it's just a case of being brave enough to look at what.
Oh, that's so true. And I have found with myself and with clients, and you obviously as well have done this, um, the more I take care of the parts of me that have been hurt, and as if they're my children. They are my children actually in different time frames, 3 years old, 5 years old, last week, whatever. The
Mm,
more I give myself that voice and allow that part to be heard and seen, the more it sort of integrates into the truth of who I am now,
mm,
and I do have a lot of core confidence, and it's because I've done this work over the years.
mm,
And I think what the advantage you and I have is that for others, we can shorten your path
exactly.
there with the
Yeah.
different courses we've got and
Yeah.
the panel discussions and all these different ways we're trying to get the word out to you to join us, join us and
Mm,
in a safe place with
yeah.
coaches that have done the work. And it is a grand place to come from,
Mm,
especially now with the world in such upheaval, to just go, the world's in pain. The-
yeah.
and I can hold the light for the world or my friends or my family or you,
Yeah.
Sara.
Yeah.
I can keep coming back to the truth of who we are, the
Yeah.
truth of who I am, this universal intelligence that runs through this body right now. And
Yeah.
hold the light,
Yeah.
for others while they're going through their pain, and then you can help me when I'm going through mine, and,
Mm.
all of it,
Yeah,
so
exactly. To have that kind of authenticity and vulnerability, um, it's there are so many benefits that come from that.
yeah,
So much healing, deeper connections, so much
yeah.
freedom and inner peace that come from that kind of vulnerability and authenticity. So it's definitely important to, just check in with ourselves and asking, okay, am I coming from an ego perspective right now, and why and how, and
And
how
that it's okay, that
okay,
we're
not
not bad
yeah,
spiritual people because we're
yeah,
feeling, I mean, this
so
is part of having a human body, and,
we can kind of
uh,
ourselves, aren't we?
how we can take care of ourselves and be kind to ourselves, and that's where these hurt parts can be
Yeah,
embraced, and then we
yeah.
move on from there.
So true. I'm just going to read something from this book. It's only a little book.
Please.
This is a book called Ego is the Enemy by
Ah,
Ryan Holiday. And I thought this was good. When we remove ego, we're left with what is real. What replaces ego is humility. Yes, rock hard humility and confidence. Whereas ego is artificial, this type of confidence can hold weight. Ego is stolen, confidence is earned. Ego is self anointed. Um, the difference between the two is potent and poisonous. That's
wow.
an interesting perspective, but I find that that's a really interesting book if you are, if you want to start reflecting on being in the ego state,
Can you hold it up again? Ego is the Enemy by
Ryan Holiday.
Ryan Holiday.
Yeah,
Wow, look
Amazon,
at that. Okay,
£7. But yeah, great
good
book.
resource. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you so much.
See you next week, yeah?
Yeah, bye.
Take good care. Bye.